दिया देहो कृष्ण नाम धाने। सदा बिंदु दिया देहो कृष्ण नाम धाने। कृष्णा से तुम्हारा कृष्णा दीते पार तुम्हारा सकती आछे। कृष्णा दीते पार तुम्हारा सकती आछे। कृष्णा से तुम्हारा कृष्णा दीते पार तुम्हारा सकती आछे। आमी तो कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोली धाई तव पाछे पाछे। आमी तो कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोली धाई तव पाछे पाछे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. हरे कृष्णा। श्रीला भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। ये भजन है ओहे वैष्णव ठाकुर। इस भजन को, ये भजन शरणागति पुस्तक से है और इसको लिखा है श्रीला भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर ने। इसका हम लोग ट्रांसलेशन पढ़ेंगे। प्लीज स्टार्ट वन बाय वन। हरे कृष्णा। ओम अज्ञानातिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथां वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धांत सरस्वती नामिने। श्रीवर्ज्वान्वी देवी दैताय कृपाब्धये कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञान दायिने प्रभवे नमः। माधुर्य जल प्रेमाढ्य श्री रूपानुगा भक्तिदा श्री गौर करुणा शक्ति विग्रहाय नमस्तुते। नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दीनतारिणे रूपानुगा विरुद्धप्प सिद्धांतहारिणे। नमः गौर किशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलंबर सांबोधे पादाम्बुजाय ते नमः। नमो भक्ति विनोदाय सच्चिदानंद नामिने गौर शक्ति स्वरूपाय रूपानुगावरायते। गौराविर्वार भूमिस्त्वां निर्देश सज्जन प्रिय वैष्णव सरभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतुषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूप स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। जयतां सुरतौ पंगुर्मं मंदामतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदाम्भुजौ राधा मदन मोहनौ। दिव्याविन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमड़ा श्रीमद्रत्नागर सिंहासनस्थ श्रीमद्राधा शिला गोविंदेव पृष्ठालीभिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि। श्रीमान रासरसारंभी वंशी वटतटस्थित कर्सन वेणुसनैर्गोपी गोपीनाथाय श्रीअस्तुना। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृजवानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So today being Ekadashi, we will be reading from Srila Prabhupada Lilamrta. Daily we recite Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam talks about the glories of Lord and His pure devotees. And in the similar way, Lilamrta is also non-different from Srimad Bhagavatam because it also talks about glories of pure devotee. Bhagavatam means two kinds of Bhagavat. One is book Bhagavat and another one is person Bhagavat. So every day we read from book Bhagavat and today we are reading about person Bhagavat, Srila Prabhupada. So we'll be reading from the Lilamrta. But before that, today happens to be the disappearance day of Sri Kalya Krishnadas. So I will just read about him so that we have some information about Sri Kalya Krishnadas. Sri Kalya Krishnadas. This is from Gaur Gano Desh Deepika about the identity of Kalya, Sri Kalya Krishnadas. Kala Sri Krishnadasa Sayo Lavanga Sakha Vraje. In Vraj, Kala Krishnadas was Krishna's cowherd friend named Lavanga. Quoted from Gaur Gano Desh Deepika 132. Kalya Krishnadas was known throughout the three worlds. One can attain Gaur Chandra through remembrance of him. Chaitanya Bhagavat, 3rd Antalila, 5th chapter, 740. Lavanga Sakha is one of the 12 Gopals. His Sripat is in town of Akai hut within the jurisdiction of Katwa, just off the road which leads from Navdeep to Katwa. It is about 2 miles south of Katwa train section and 1 mile north of Dan Hatta station. Near the Sripat is a tank called Nupur Kund. It is said that the ankle bell of Raghunandan Thakur, the son of Khandavasi Mukunda, fell here. Others say that it was Nityanand Prabhu's ankle bell. In his Anubhasya commentary to Chaitanya Charitamrit, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur has written, he had 2 sons named Sri Mohan Das and Sri Gauranga Das or Vrindavan Das. Their descendants still live in the Sonatala village. There they celebrate Kala Krishna Das disappearance day on the 12th of the waning moon in the month of Agrayan. The deity which he worshipped was named Kala Chand. Kala Krishna Das was the best of the Vaishnavas. He knew nothing other than Nityanand Prabhu's lotus feet. Quoted from Chaitanya Charitamrit, Adi Lila, 11th chapter, verse number 37. When Jahnava Devi came to Katwa, Kala Krishna Das was in her entourage. They all arrived in Kantak Nagar, Katwa, with company of many devotees, including Kala Krishna Das from Akai Hatta, quoted from Bhakti Ratnakar, 10.409. The Kala Krishna Das who accompanied Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the southern India was not the same personality which we are discussing today. That's a different. So these are from this is all quoted from Sri Chaitanya, his life and associates by Srila Bhakti Vallabh Tirth Maharaj. So there's not much more information, but in short, Sri Kala Krishna Das was a great devotee. As an associate of Lord in Vrindavan Lila, as well as associate of Lord in Chaitanya Lila. So today, as we are reading from Srila Prabhupada Lilamrta, and I asked few devotees what I am supposed to read, and I did not get any reply, so then I decided I should read whatever I feel to read. So we'll be reading from Prabhupada Lilamrta. This is chapter number 45, and guess what's the name of the chapter? No. The season is of book distribution. The name of the chapter is Please Distribute Books. Is that same there also? Here it is 45 in Veda base. So, taking the opportunity of this book distribution marathon, we will be reading from Srila Prabhupada Lilamrta and take some inspiration to distribute more and more books of Bhagavad Gita. This is the month of Gita Jayanti, and Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Krishna 5,000 years back on Mokshada Ekadashi, which happens to be on 23rd December, Gita Jayanti. So on that occasion, worldwide ISKCON temple are distributing Bhagavad Gita everywhere. And the target to distribute at least 35 lakhs copies of Bhagavad Gita in this marathon on this planet. And if this planet is fully covered, then maybe you can think of some other planet. One time, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, looking at the moon, told his disciples, the people on the moon have become very materialistic and we need to go there and preach Krishna consciousness. So of course, we don't see the moon in that way. But he said like this to his disciples. So, at least on this planet we can try, because we can see very obviously people have become very materialistic. So distributing these literatures will bring transformation in their life. When Srila Prabhupada was told that Swamiji wrote so many books, he said, no, I have not written. These books are written by Krishna. And when the disciples tried to elaborate that Prabhupada means to say that he got inspiration from Krishna to write, Prabhupada objected and said, no, Krishna has wrote it. Krishna wrote these books. Krishna wrote it. So he made it very precisely that books are written by Krishna. Other places says these are my transcendental ecstatic symptoms. That's transcendental ecstasy. The whatever Prabhupada has mentioned in his books, it's like in his highest ecstasy, it has all poured out from him in these literatures, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and so many books which we have. So, one time in Juhu, we were reading with among our devotees, Nectar of Instruction, and there Srila Prabhupada writes that the devotee should serve Krishna 24 hours. So one of the devotees said that, no, we have to sleep 7-8 hours, so how are we going to serve 24 hours? Or does that mean that sleeping 7-8 hours is also part of the service? That we rejuvenate our body so that we can serve Krishna. So while discussing, we first concluded, yeah, 7-8 hours sleeping is required so that we can serve whole day. But then we thought little more and we felt that actually a devotee is supposed to serve 24 hours. And we may not be on that level, but if we see the level of the Goswamis, they were serving 24 hours. They would forget to sleep. And imagine they would forget to sleep. Nidra, har, vihar, adi ko vijito. They were maybe sleeping 1-2 hours or sometime forget to sleep or eat, just serving Krishna. And when Prabhupada writes this, a devotee should serve 24 hours, we can see in the life of Srila Prabhupada that he was exemplifying it. He would not sleep more than 2 hours or even sometime not even sleep that also. Just go to the bed by 10 and maybe get up again at 12 and start translating in the middle of the night. We may not have that enthusiasm to read these books in the middle of the night or whole night, but Srila Prabhupada, with all his management, all his travel around so many countries, managing, guiding, so many things, leading, he made a point to translate books every night, 12 a.m. onwards, till early morning. And that was the daily activity of Srila Prabhupada. So, after writing these books, he stressed that these books should be distributed. First he distributed himself. After printing first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam in 3 sections, 3 volumes, with lot of efforts, he distributed himself, and then later on when he went to the West, he emphasized that his disciples distribute more and more books. So this particular chapter, Prabhupada is stressing on distribution of his literatures, and even we should also attempt to try our best, not only in this month, but all the month. This month we should do, like His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj says that the marathon of Maya is round the year, and our marathon is only December. So our marathon of book distribution also should be round the year and not only December. Hare Krishna. Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maiya ki jai. Shri Radha Madhav ki jai. Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So how the book discipline started, especially the big Krishna book, and the famous pastime that one day in 1971, while driving back to temple after chanting in downtown San Francisco, 2 brahmacharis stopped at a local service station for gas. When the attendant came to the window for money, one of the devotees showed him a Krishna book. The attendant seemed interested, and the 2 devotees began preaching the glories of Krishna consciousness. When they suggested he take the book as payment for the gas, and he agreed. So this is something we have a lot of experience ourselves while going in our traveling Sankirtan, that many places we just give books instead of giving money, and they happily accept it. It's not that out of force they take it, but happily accept it. Many places we give books instead of making a payment, and people accept. And that's how it started, the Krishna book distribution. Because when Krishna book arrived, devotees were very perplexed that how we are going to distribute these books and who is going to buy. all the way in US, everyone is Christian, and there we are going to present completely out-of-box literature. If you try to give Bible, people may take. But giving Krishna book and expecting that people will pay for it was devotees were very apprehensive whether it will happen or not. But they gave the Krishna book and people took, and and that's how was the beginning of the book distribution. Astonished at what had happened and inspired at their success, the two brahmacharis went the next day with several Krishna books and stood in front of a grocery store. And again it happened. This time they sold 2 books. Our today's score was 479 books, Bhagavad Gita. And just imagine, see how humble was the start. They sold 2 books and they were so enthusiastic about it. They are so happy about it that they sold 2 books. Keshav, it's like miracle, Keshav exclaimed. Karandhar encouraged him to experiment further, and soon the San Francisco temple had half a dozen men going from door to door, showing the books to people in their homes. When Buddhimanta began selling as many as 5 books in a day, the devotees in other temples, especially Los Angeles, San Diego, and Denver, wanted to follow his example. And whoever tried it and sold a book became caught up in euphoric excitement. So, just connecting with this, that devotees gave Krishna book at gas station. Similarly, in our Trajan Sankirtan, when we had our bus number plate, yellow number plate, every RTO, every change of city, change of state, police will stop. Seeing the number plate only, yellow number plate means come on the side. Everywhere. And as usual, we are not so professional in having all documents pakka, so the only thing we go with them is Bhagavad Gita and Prasadam. That is our national permit, Just show Bhagavad Gita and Prasadam and they will take it. Sometimes they even pay for it. Instead of collecting from us, we collect from them. And then we go ahead to the next state. So that now so we got white number plate, so now no one stops it. They feel it's a premium vehicle going on, because having a white number plate on a bus it's not a regular vehicle, it's a premium vehicle. But earlier everywhere, and we'd just say again stopped. It would be anxiety to cross check post in every state. But it always worked, Bhagavad Gita and Prasadam. Sometimes we even sold 4 or 5 Bhagavad Gitas, got money from them, and we went ahead. After that, nobody asked whether you have insurance, whether you have PUC, whether you have RTO permit. No questions asked. Bhagavad Gita is national permit. So we have experienced that so many times, personally, and the devotees with us, so many times. Or we chanted one Maha Mantra, it's just like Krishna's instruction to him, let the bus go. He heard the holy name and said, okay, Hare Krishna, let the bus go. So, the experience and testimonies of devotees selling Srila Prabhupada books describe a special taste, distinct from the happiness young men might ordinarily experience by stumbling upon a sales technique and finding themselves on verging of making a lot of money. The difference is that the devotee's book distribution, being devotional service to Krishna, produces an ecstasy that is transcendental, an ecstasy far beyond the greatest material happiness. This book distribution is said to give you ecstasy which is far beyond than the greatest material happiness. And Srimad Bhagavatam mentions, we have heard this verse many times, Tampante tapa lokena prayasho sadhavo jana param aradhana tadhi purushasya akhilatmana. That the greatest way to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, tapente tapa lokena prayaso sadhava jana. Seeing the tap of the people in general, tapente tapa lokena, seeing the tap of people in general, prayaso sadhavo jana, those who are saintly people, they put all kind of endeavors, they do all kind of prayas, and by doing that endeavor, they put themselves in difficulty in doing those endeavor. Why? Param aradhana tadhi purushasya khilatmana. That is the param aradhana, that is the highest way of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Param aradhana tadhi. That is the highest way to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by putting ourselves into difficulty just to spread Krishna consciousness. Or we try our best to spread and we may end up in some difficulty. Just like we see example of Srila Prabhupada going to the West. He could have sat in Radha Damodar temple and did all kinds of artis, have opportunity to have Raj bhogs on all kind of bhogas all the day, and everyone would have come to him, paid obeisances. But he put himself in troublesome situation of going to the West. And Bhagavatam says, Param Aradhana Tadhi, that is the Param Aradhana, the highest way of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. To put yourself in some situation, difficult situation, to spread Krishna consciousness. And that gives the highest transcendental ecstasy. As it is mentioned here, that the ecstasy was far beyond even the greatest material happiness. Ordinary business and business of selling Krishna conscious literature are as different as material life from spiritual life. And anyone observing spiritual life from the material point of view will not understand it. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati has compared such empirical attempts to understand the ecstasy of Krishna consciousness with attempts to taste honey by licking outside of the bottle. The young man and woman beginning to distribute books in America knew that Srila Prabhupada, by giving them Krishna consciousness, had saved them from hellish life. And they wanted to help him give Krishna consciousness to others. And such preaching, by distributing his books, was ecstasy, spiritual ecstasy. Yesterday we were discussing this verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. What is the Yug Dharma? What is the Yug Dharma? And the verse said, Kali Yuge Yug Dharma Namera Prachar. In Kali Yuga, the Yug Dharma is Namera Prachar, distributing the holy name, telling everyone about the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We all look for some perfection in our life. We are doing so many austerities, tapasya. But the highest way to perfect our life is chanting of the holy names and distributing this name, distributing the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Kali Yuga Yug Dharma Namera Prachar. Of course, we always say chanting of the holy names, but this is a verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, 3rd chapter, verse number 40, that the Yug Dharma is spreading the holy name, distributing the holy name, making everyone aware about the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Because Kali Kale are Nahi Dharma. In Kali Yuga, in current Yuga, there is no other way to perfect our life. The only way is reading Srimad Bhagavatam and chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So that's the only way in Kali Yuga and no other way. By mid-1971, the temples were selling hundreds of Krishna books a week. Karandhar, Prabhupada's book fund manager, began sending Sankirtan newsletter to Northern American temples and to Srila Prabhupada. By listing the monthly results of each temple's book distribution, the newsletter incited competition. Karandhar's December 1971 newsletter summed up the mood of the year and urged the devotees to increase. I was hearing from Sahadev Prabhu few days back when he had come to Attapur. I was speaking to Sita. He said that in 1970s there were chances of World War III, Third World War. That was so tense situation in 1970s. There would be World War. But because devotees distributed so many books in US, so many Bhagavad Gita in United States and many other places, but specifically in United States, because of this mass distribution of literature, especially Bhagavad Gita, the mass sin which had accumulated, which could have led to World War, got completely exhausted. And that's why there was no World War. Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Book Distribution ki jai. So some people who were at that time the astrologers and those who do, prophecy, they said it must be world war there. Why there is no world war happening? As per their prophecy, First World War was on time, Second World War was on time, but Third World War didn't happen. Till now didn't happen. It was supposed to happen in those 1970s. Because of this mass literature by the devotees, all the houses started becoming temples. Because as soon as you keep Bhagavad Gita in a house, it is not less than a temple. That is the power of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, the words of Krishna, non-different from Krishna. So if we have Krishna here, we call it temple. Similarly, when we have these scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita at our home, that is non-different from temple. So if so many temples are there in the country, how there will be world war? All the combined sinful reactions will be just exhausted. It will just evaporate. It won't be there. And that stopped world war. So that's the power of distribution of these literatures. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. And the more we can give, Prabhupada wanted to flood the world, just like we hear right now in Chennai. The flood came. And you see, when flood came, it's all like, save, save, ha-ha-kar, trahi, trahi. Everyone is looking, it's all where in the news, flood has come. So if we take literally, flood the world with the books, means wherever people go, they should only say, only Bhagavad Gita, everywhere. All the hoardings, only Bhagavad Gita. Everyone is selling Bhagavad Gita. Go to the vegetable market, this market, anywhere, it's all Bhagavad Gita. That would be the, that how would mean flooding the world, just like we see flood in Chennai right now. Everyone is running to save their life. Government is giving a grant to save the life of the people. So that's one day which will happen because Prabhupada wanted to flood the world with his books. Everywhere. It's if any scriptural book, it's all everywhere Gita. Bhagavad Gita. Recently in all programs to sell books, the San Francisco Temple has been averaging 20 Krishna books per day distribution. That would be the great success, distributing 20 books per day. What is that technique? Kesha Prabhu says, simply we make it our priority activity. All you have to do is want to do it and then try as hard as you can. Everywhere we go, we carry BTGs and Krishna book, he says. On street Sankirtan party, door to door, to the laundromat, to the store, everywhere. We have been taxing our brains in so many fancy and complicated ways to try to increase sales. But it has been experienced. Nothing is more successful than simply taking the books personally in hand and going door to door with his causeless mercy. Just consider how many hours a day do we spend specifically trying to distribute Srila Prabhupada's literature, which is the dearmost thing to him. The crowning touch to the end the year Sankirtan, the crowning touch to end the year's Sankirtan, however, came not from the newsletter but from Prabhupada himself, who wrote to Kesav, the king of Krishna book distribution. Just imagine to get this identification from Srila Prabhupada, the king of Krishna book distribution. I have been receiving so many reports about how my disciples from San Francisco Temple cannot be surpassed by anyone in distributing my books. Sometimes they are selling as many as 70 Krishna books daily. So if this is true, then certainly when I return to the United States, I must come and stay in your temple. By distributing my books profusely, you are giving me great encouragement to translate. And you are helping me to fulfill the order which Guru Maharaj gave me. So I am so much grateful to you. And I am sure Krishna will bless you 1,000,000 times over for doing this work. So that is the mercy in distributing this literature. The mercy is 1,000,000 times. I hope that you and all my beloved disciples in San Francisco Temple are in strong health and jolly mood. Copies of this letter went out to every ISKCON center. Prabhupada had always given his blessings to all the devotees, but never before could anyone recall his saying a devotee would get Krishna's blessings 1,000,000 times over. So that's what, if in this month, if we all try to distribute as many Srimad Bhagavad Gita or any book of Srila Prabhupada, but especially Bhagavad Gita, the more we try, every home in Attapur, every home in Hyderguda, every home in Hyderabad. That would be a dream come true, but Prabhupada has said a million times over is the blessing if someone is distributing these literatures, a million times. Although a letter from Prabhupada usually instructed a specific devotee, the instruction often had universal application, and Srila Prabhupada's letters made clear his disciples' top priority, book distribution. I am very pleased to hear that you are increasing in your distribution of our books and magazines. This is a good sign that your preaching work is also strong. The more you increase your strength in preaching, the more you will go on selling books. I want especially that my books be distributed widely. That's the desire of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada said how we understand that any temple is successful or any preaching program is successful. It is successful if we are selling more and more books, distributing more and more books, making more and more devotees, distributing a lot of prasadam and performing a lot of sankirtan. They may not come again. You can show them Bhagavad Gita. Maybe Pranit, can you show them? Just try, some books may go. This is our one of the important activity in December month, because all these people, they especially choose to stay in temples, and our Nityanand Chandra will go to all these temples, find out them, where are they, and give them a session, do a dancing kirtan, and everyone almost. Yesterday also, not? Almost. Day before yesterday, we went to one of the places where all these followers of Ayyappa Swami were there, and he did Sankirtan, and almost 40 Bhagavad Gitas went. Everyone took a Bhagavad Gita. So let's not miss out the opportunity here. Prabhupada's ambition was to replace mundane literature with transcendental. What an ambition, you know. Even if somebody makes this ambition his life, he cannot say, I have no service. This is the ambition, replace the mundane literature with transcendental. So there is no other literature left out. Only literature is transcendental literature. It's a very big ambition. Prabhupada said, no, he said, my only problem is that I don't think small. I always think big in Krishna's service. And this is one of the service where sky is the limit, to replace mundane literature with transcendental. At least in every home, there should be one piece of Krishna conscious literature. He reasoned, because if a person read only one page, his life could be turned toward perfection. If 1% of the readers become devotees, he wrote, that will change the world. Whereas mail order advertisers were satisfied with a 5% response, Srila Prabhupada spoke of an even smaller percentage, 1%, whom he thought could become pure devotees in response to receiving a book. Lord Krishna also confirmed this in Bhagavad Gita. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. To make the world Krishna conscious, therefore, would require that millions of pieces of transcendental literature be distributed. So that is the desire of Srila Prabhupada, to distribute more and more books. And at least we all should try that. He said that every home, at least one piece of Krishna conscious literature. If not Gita, then at least any book, Beyond Birth and Death, On the Way to Krishna, Perfect Question and Perfect Answers. Some book we have to try to place in the hands of the conditioned souls. And day before yesterday we are hearing from, not day before yesterday, on Tuesday we are hearing from His Grace Rajesh Prabhu how Prabhupada used military words, ISKCON bullets, bombing, just like there's a bombing during the war. Similarly, our books should be dropped in the laps of the fallen, in the laps of the, he said, sleeping souls, correct? Something like that is there. Just like bombs are dropping during the war, that's how our books should be dropped in the laps of the conditioned soul. One day you may have a PM going in a, just imagination, going in these planes, dropping books. Just like recently our PM had a, sortie on a Tejas, and it was so much in the news, just to see how they can drop bombs. Maybe one day they will go to some countries where you cannot allow and drop books and come back. It may happen. Prabhupada have used those terms, dropping of bombs, like they are distributing books. Because when bomb drops, it creates so many people are affected, and it is a talk of the whole country. And even internationally it is known, bomb drops happen. So that's how the Gita should go. It's like mass effect. Srila Prabhupada wanted his disciples to understand why they should distribute his books, and instructed them through his letters. Who God is can be summed up in only 5 words. Who God is can be summed up in only 5 words. Krishna is the supreme controller. 5 words. Krishna is the supreme controller. If you become convinced of this and preach it enthusiastically, success is assured, and you will be doing the greatest service for all living entities. He wrote to Jai Advaita, "These books and magazines are our most important propaganda, weapons to defeat the ignorance of Maya's army. And the more we produce such literature and sell them profusely all over the world, the more we shall deliver the world from the suicide course." To Jagdish he wrote, "I am encouraged to see your reports of books sold, because it proves that you consider it your responsibility to see that more and more people are reading our literature. Actually, this is the solid basis of our preaching work. No other movement has got such profuse authority for preaching. And if someone reads our Krishna conscious philosophy, he becomes convinced." Prabhupada continued to insist that all major Krishna conscious programs be maintained, including deity worship, chanting Hare Krishna in public, and holding outside lectures. All programs were important, but book distribution, whenever possible, should accompany the other programs. To a sannyasi whose main program was public lecturing, Prabhupada wrote, "Distribute books as many as possible. If anyone hears some philosophy from us, that will help him. But if he purchases one book, that may turn his life. So selling books is the best preaching activity. Sell books, hold the kirtan in public places like schools and colleges, and preach." And in a letter to Bhagwan Das in France, he stressed the same thing. "What will your 3 minutes of preaching do? But if they buy one book, it may turn their life." When I attended the first program in my college, so devotees from Mumbai, they came to do this 3-day session, the journey of self-discovery. And I attended that because the course fee was only 30 rupees, and they would give a free Bhagavad Gita to all participants, and there would be snacks also after every day. So that was very tempting offer. 30 rupees only, free copy of Bhagavad Gita, and limited seats, and you get free snacks also after the program. So I attended, and after attending this, as usual, Prabhupada said, all these lectures should accompany book distribution also. So devotees had put book stalls also. Devotees put book stalls outside the lecture hall. So I went on the book stall and I saw the books. They were so so attractive. Life comes from life, beyond birth and death, Hare Krishna challenge. So I was very, very attractive, very impressed. So I called one of my relatives who had some experience of Krishna consciousness, and I asked, "What's your opinion? Should I buy these books? It's only come for 10-15 rupees. Should I buy this? Do you recommend?" Because it was first year of my college. I had gone first time from my home out to a college. So before you do any expense, you check with our parents, relatives, "What's your opinion? Should I buy this?" And he said, "Not required now." But I thought, no, I must buy it. So although I got this opinion that I should not buy it, still I bought it. I bought Hare Krishna Challenge, I bought Beyond Birth and Death, I bought this book, one more book I bought, I don't remember, 3 books I bought, and I started reading it. That time there was not I was not having a laptop and neither a smartphone, so there was no way to connect to Krishna conscious philosophy other than these books. So I would read these books and really feel very, like many questions are getting answered and such an amazing philosophy. And then I got call for weekly programs and then just got Association of Devotees. So that was a very transforming thing. Those books in the very first days, in the hostel room sitting, coming back from the college and read these books. And especially Hare Krishna Challenge, Beyond Birth and Death, Life Comes from Life. The conversations in these books are so, it connects so much with your technical mind also. Especially Life Comes from Life, where Prabhupada talks about hydrogen and oxygen makes H2O. And I would say, how come Swamiji knows all this, Because I didn't know about Prabhupada as a pharmaceutical background. And Prabhupada would talk about H2O, ammonia, and we just read chemistry so much and came into NIT. So it was so connecting, that Swamiji is talking about hydrogen, oxygen, and he's talking about all kind of life comes from life is very scientific talk between Srila Prabhupada and Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj. So very good for engineering students too, very connecting. So I was very impressed with these books and then met the devotees. So much sound from all directions. During this period of increasing book distribution, one of Srila Prabhupada's newly initiated sannyasis concocted the idea that the devotee should spend much more time studying. While visiting the New York temple, this sannyasi openly advocated that devotees read Srila Prabhupada's books 5 to 8 hours daily. The temple was following a new schedule Srila Prabhupada had set up, with devotees attending the morning program, going out all day for street chanting and book distribution, and returning in the evening for a class on Bhagavad Gita. But now controversy arose, and an urgent phone call was placed to Srila Prabhupada in Los Angeles. When Prabhupada heard the details from his secretary, he immediately responded, "My reply is that this Sankirtan or street chanting must go on. It is our most important program." Lord Chaitanya's movement means the Sankirtan movement. We should remember this. Lord Chaitanya's movement is Sankirtan movement. His Grace Tribhuvannath Prabhu says he would do lot of festivals, Sankirtan festivals of conducting mass Sankirtan. So he would conduct lot of Sankirtan and he would go and preach in South America and those countries where we would never think that even people will become devotees. It's a very nice documentary on him. We must watch it again and again. It's a beautiful documentary. You may simply take 2 hours for chanting 16 rounds daily, 2 hours for reading congregationally, that is enough, 2 hours. And balance of time go out for Sankirtan. We must do both, reading books and distributing books. But distributing books is the main propaganda. Reading in class for 2 hours is sufficient. 1 hour Bhagavatam class, 1 hour Gita class, or 1 hour Bhagavatam class, and 1 hour self-reading or congregational reading. But, another reading can be in spare time if one has got it. It is not that one has to be always reading. 1 hour a morning for Bhagavad class and 1 hour evening. Either Bhagavad Gita or Nectar of Devotion, that is sufficient. So nothing more than that. We have to always remember, Lord Chaitanya's movement means, you have any doubt? What is that? Sankirtan movement. That is Lord Chaitanya's movement. And that is the only way. And there is no other way. That is the only way. Chanting Hare Krishna, reading these books and distributing these books. Because other place Prabhupada said, book distribution is also chanting. Because when we are distributing books, we are talking to people again and again about Krishna. We are talking to him about holy name. We are telling them to chant Hare Krishna. We are telling them to chant the holy name. So, distribution of book is also as good as chanting. January 1972, You should always think of new outlets for distributing my books. Srila Prabhupada wrote to Jagdish. And new outlets the devotees found. Shopping centers, malls, parking lots. They were meeting more people than ever before. So think of newer and newer ways how you can distribute books. In 2020, just before the COVID, we went for book distribution. And while going for book distribution, we went to the city. From Mumbai we started and we are going towards the Gujarat. We went to Bharuch. And there we met one devotee who bought 20 Krishna books from us. I asked, what you will do with these books? Whom do you sell? He said, I sell it online. So I said, how you sell it online? So he was a little reluctant in revealing the secrets. He said, no, I just sell it Amazon, Flipkart, like that. So I tried to dig a little bit more, but I was not ready to tell it. And COVID came. We all were sitting in Bhiwandi, thinking now how we'll go for book distribution. So I was just remembering that guy told he was doing some online book distribution, how he was doing it. So we started figuring out Amazon, Flipkart, website. And by Krishna's mercy, it clicked. Every day we sell at least 400 Bhagavad Gitas through Amazon in Bhiwandi, Every day, 300 to 400 Gita, Bhagavatam, Krishna together. Every day goes out from our Bhiwandi center through Amazon, Flipkart, Snapdeal, many online portals, even our own ISKCON TSP website. So we have to just think. Before that, I had no idea we can do this way also. That has become like an auto mode. No, we are not doing anything. People are just looking for Prabhupada books. They are coming and they are placing the order. And then we are getting contacts. And then we are calling them. Many of them becoming our, many of them have taken up Krishna consciousness. They have become donors. In last 2 years, through these online portals, we have distributed 135,000 Bhagavad Gita. So we all have to just go on thinking various ways, various outlets, like the smart box, in the MNCs, in the shops. We can encourage them to keep a smart box where they have books and people can take books. Or we get a sponsorship and just distribute it freely to everyone. Like I was coming on, I went with His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu to Abbott's, and when I was coming back, I saw a big hoarding. 23rd December, Bhagavad Gita Jayanti. Every visitor will get a free Bhagavad Gita on that day. So I wish that we should also have a hoarding here, same thing. 23rd December, Gita Jayanti. Every visitor can get a free Bhagavad Gita if some of us can get that sponsorship. That would be at least 2,000, Prabhu, you are there. How many? It's Ekadashi, Saturday. So how many Gitas we need? 3,000 Bhagavad Gitas are needed. Vaikuntha Ekadashi also. So Vaikuntha Ekadashi, at least 3,000 people are going to step in this temple. We have with us, today is what? 9th of December. So we have just 13 days. If each one of us can, of course, we should go out and distribute, but there are many who cannot go out and distribute because of their job and whatever. So get a sponsorship for 3,000 Bhagavad Gitas. 3,000 people are going to walk in to take darshan of Shri Radha Madhav, and they will go out with the teachings of Shri Radha Madhav. They all will move out with a copy of Bhagavad Gita if we have a sponsorship of 3,000 Bhagavad Gitas. So that's a target for all fundraisers also, at least. Target is very big, but this is a smaller one. 3,000 Bhagavad Gitas. Every visitor who goes out with a Bhagavad Gita. So that day he will be getting prasadam as usual. He will be hearing the holy name in the temple, and he will be also going out with a book. All three things will happen. They may not buy, but we cannot try with such a big devotee community and well-wisher community. We should be ready with 3,000 copies just to give everyone. This is also Krishna's prasad, Bhagavad Gita. And we can put that in hoarding if we get that commitment from devotees here. Just like I saw that hoarding in that banner in Abbott's temple. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada Book Distribution Marathon ki. Srila Bhagavad Gita ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. So any questions, comments or commitments? Anything? Hare Krishna. So let us try our best to distribute more and more books. We will be happy and everyone will be happy. To end with a story, one time one disciple of Srila Prabhupada who would distribute books every day at one crossroad in New York, one Mataji. She would do everyday book distribution in New York at one crossroad. This also I heard from Sahadev Prabhu only. So when she became very old, she thought, now I have done whole life book distribution, let me go to Radha Kund and just chant the holy names there. So she booked her flight ticket and she made her whole plan, winded up everything. So that few days before her flight, she got a dream that she is distributing books on the crossroad. And everywhere there's water, everywhere there's water. And the water is so much that she is feeling, how come on this crossroad so much water has come, you know. The New York street crossroad, so much of water has come. She was very surprised and she was just trying to protect her books because so much water is coming everywhere on the crossroad. And then she saw Srila Prabhupada and saying, no need to go to Radha Kund. This is Radha Kund for you. Distribute books here. So then after this dream, when she got up, she just cancelled her ticket to go to Delhi and go to Radha Kund and decided to stay in lifelong at New York and distribute every day that books on that crossroad. I'll find out her name. I'm just forgetting, but I have heard it. So nowhere, it's not that we have to go to Radha Kund there. Many places Prabhupada talks about, it's actually Vrindavan consciousness. Being in New York, you can be in Vrindavan. Being in Attapur, we can be in Vrindavan. If you always think about Krishna and you always think about propagating Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ji ki jai. So, Vaikuntha Ekadashi, 3000 books from the temple. Hare Krishna.